Unscripted, unshackled, uncouth.
What you're about to hear is for more mature audiences only.
It's Miguel and Holly, Uncensored.
Hello, and we are live right now on the Miguel and Holly Facebook page and YouTube and the Hits 961 Facebook page. Thank you so much for watching and listening to wherever you listen it to our podcast and watch it. Also, make sure to hit up Miguel and Holly Full Show. It's where you can listen to our entire on-air show. Wherever you listen to podcasts, just type in Miguel and Holly Full Show or Blown Off or The Check-In or Queen City Confessions. And make sure to give us a 5-star rating. We'd greatly appreciate it. All right, before we get into anything, because I have a couple of things that I want to talk about. And one of them is like a super kid warning.
Super kid warning, you said?
Yeah, I know we always say like it's for mature ears only, but
yeah,
I'm giving you the warning right now. If you just happen to, you're like, oh, my kid's fine. There's an article that I came across this morning on Twitter, and I was like, is this a thing? Like, this is what we're doing?
Probably not.
No,
just already. I don't even know what it is, but yeah. I don't know.
So just get ready for that. First off, I wanted to talk a little bit more to Kelbin about this movie you saw yesterday. You talked about it on the on-air show.
Yes.
But we got to go so fast, I couldn't ask you more.
Yes.
So sort of explain the premise of this movie that you saw yesterday and like why it was so like Holly and I, when you texted us, said you were going to go see it. I was like, girl, no, I don't want that energy.
So Terrifier, right? I didn't watch the first one, so I can't really tell you exactly the origins of the story. But in Terrifier 2, apparently he was resurrected. His name is Art the Clown.
Art the Clown. I happen to know a little bit of backstory on this, even though I've seen none of them. Wanted nothing to do with this.
Right.
Apparently there was like a horror movie that came out where Art the Clown was like a side character.
Mm-hmm.
And so then that horror movie had him like a little bit in it. And then the writer, director, whoever, realized that could be a good spinoff. And so Terrifier then fully focused on this Art the Clown. And so then now there's a second one, but his third film.
Gotcha.
So.
Okay. So what ended up happening, or at least the opening sequence of this movie, was this clown just kind of coming from nowhere with a trash bag, extremely bloody. He goes into this laundromat and washes his clothes. And then all of a sudden there's a little girl, which you don't see in the trailer, who is dressed like him with the same creepy teeth. She has her own little ponytail, and it's weird because when you see the perspective of like there was a guy there sleeping, and he wakes up and he sees him playing patty cake with the little girl. And the clown sees the little girl, but the guy does not see the little girl there. So it's very like psychological, and I don't know what's really going on. And then he goes on an extremely gruesome killing spree.
Now, so because the reason why this is so crazy is Holly told us during Trending in the Queen City the other day that people have been puking and passing out watching this movie. And so we didn't know if it was from it being so scary or if it was from actually just the gore of it. Is that more so it?
The gore was intense. And like one of the main kills that only like just stays at the top of my mind was it was this typical like knock on the door, give me candy. The girl was like, you're a little too old. Like, don't come back.
Also, you look like a sadistic killer.
That too.
It looks scary, isn't it?
And he manages to get into the house and he just tears this girl up. I'm telling you, he like slices her throat, and you see all of that. You see her scalping her, taking off her hair, and you hear the screaming and the cringing, and she's just yelling. Then when you think that he also cuts off her leg, and you see that, he opens her chest up, puts his hand in there, and then to make things worse, he gets bleach and puts it all over her, and then he gets salt on top of that and scrapes it all over her face as she is bleeding.
Wait, so she's alive during all this?
Yeah, and that's like, that's where it took me out. I was like, this is fake.
Right.
But also it was so gruesome. Like it gets really, really intense. And then to add insult to injury, the mom comes home, sees her, and it's really sad also, but also very gruesome. And the next scene is trick-or-treaters knocking on that same house, and it's the mother's head, and all the kids are getting candy out of mother's head.
Oh
What
my
the
gosh.
actual hell?
And that's just one sequence.
Wow.
What's the
just-
point of it? Like, what is the point of all of this gore?
I
Probably pointless.
I
Just
don't-
to,
Just
to
gore.
do it.
I'm
Just
not a
to be
gore
that
person.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Raina just said on Facebook, what movie is it? Terrifier 2?
Yes.
Yeah.
Terrifier 2.
I'm just, the older I get, the less capability I have for handling these things, and like the more mind expansion-y that I get, like weirdly into like this, metaphysical and spiritual. I can't handle it. I know I can't. But like it makes me uncomfortable, the people that create this content and like go as hard as they possibly can without like being totally shut down. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm like, this seems a little deranged.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like when it comes to super violent stuff like that, it reminds me of this show that I saw a few years ago where it was like, here's what reality shows are going to look like, in 10, 20, 30 years. And it's almost very much like Squid Games, but if Squid Games were broadcast on television,
Yeah.
where basically
Like Hunger
people are
Games,
killing each other.
The
Yeah.
concept.
Where it's like, we're just going to end up shooting people on live TV and be like, well, this is as far as we can take it. Because I just mentioned this on the on-air show. I just started watching The Walking Dead again yesterday. And I forgot how gory that is. I mean, one of the scenes I was watching, Negan, he's a character on that. He was like banging this zombie's head in a trailer door, and then like you see it like squish out, and you're like, man, I don't.
It doesn't feel good. And this movie, I understand a lot of people are scared of clowns. I'm not scared of clowns. I don't really get it. I mean, they are a little creepy, but it doesn't scare me and terrify me.
Right.
But this clown was definitely creepy, but he had moments where he was kind of funny because he doesn't talk. He doesn't talk throughout the whole movie. He just kind of goes as he's trying to kill you, and it's almost a little charming, almost in a weird way. It's funny. But there was one scene that I really didn't like that really disturbed me. And I mean, erase all the gore and all that because I know it's fake.
Right,
But
it
there
is.
was a shooting scene, a mass shooting scene, where it was like a fake kind of park, like a clown park or a clown restaurant. And all of a sudden he takes out like a really big gun and just starts shooting everybody. And it looked too real. And it made me so deeply uncomfortable. But that's I think probably the most disturbing scene for me.
Now, your friend that took you, what did they think?
I think he liked it. He said he liked the original one better just because he was stalking people in a house and it wasn't as gory. And so it seemed like the sequel had more of a budget where they went really full in on the gore. But he likes a lot of old 60s weird sci-fi horror movies. So I think he might have enjoyed it. I think so. More than Halloween Ends, he said.
That's so fascinating to me. I just feel like that, and I can take a lot. I'm one that's like, girl, whatever.
Yes,
it's
mama.
fake, whatever. But when it comes to that, like that, I just don't want on my mind, in my universe. I don't want to like, because there are some scary things we've talked about in the past. Remember Dear David, Holly, that we talked about? It's this little creature thing that you'll have to. You'll have to.
A boy.
No, I don't want to. You'll have to just Google Dear David.
Okay.
Google Dear David. I don't even think it's probably on Twitter anymore. But like that was part of the horrifying part of it. It was just this never-ending Twitter thread. I still don't know what to think about that.
But it's one of those things where like, does anyone else do this? Where like when Abe isn't home and I'll be getting ready for bed, and I'm like, putting on my do-rag and I'm laying down and all the lights are off, and like my mind for some reason will be like, let's think of the scariest things ever.
Yes.
Dear David, Candyman, the Scream Mask. And I'm like, bitch, why? Like, I was thinking about this show for tomorrow. Like, what are you doing?
At least you have doors.
Oh.
Okay. Every time I think about me, I literally think of Michael Myers staring at me down as I look up. I don't have doors in my apartment. It's 3 stories.
There's no doors?
There's no doors.
It's all open.
It's
In your
all
bedroom? There's no
open.
door?
Yep. I'll send you a picture.
Oh, it's sort of like lofts.
Yeah.
Screw
Sort of.
that. I need to close the damn door.
Yeah.
But you know what? When Abe isn't home, I sleep with the door open.
Oh no!
I
no,
do.
What are
no,
you
no,
doing?
I do.
Why you
I
didn't
do.
No. There is a closet next to our bed that has mirrored panels. And this is so odd because my clothes closet, I leave open. It's like in a corner, but I got like my clothes are in there. It's fine. But there's a mirrored, smaller closet. And if that's open, I'm like, close it.
No.
I've made my person get out of bed. I'm like, that closet's open.
Really?
He's like, what? It's not even open that much. I'm like, close it up. I can't. That's weird. I need that one closed and I have to have the door closed. I would never sleep with the door open.
Ever.
I used to sleep with the door closed all the time, but then I think it was when we moved into this, when we had to sell, for those of you that are new Charlotte fam members, I had a townhouse called Chateau Oprah. And we had several roommates. And so obviously we slept with the door closed. But then we sold Chateau Oprah in summer of 2021. And so we moved to this like tiny house out of St. Pete as our house was being built. And so the air conditioning system didn't work well. And so when you would close the door, it would be so hot. And so we lived there for 8 months or so.
Yeah.
And so I had to like leave the door open or else I would like sweat to death. And we even had like a fan. And for some reason, our apartment now is the same way, where in the summertime and a little bit of this fall, whenever you'd close the door, when I'd go to bed, it would just instantly heat up. So I started sleeping with the door open, even when Abe was watching TV still in the evening time. And so now I've just gotten used to it to give that, airflow. And so now it's normal to me.
I get it.
So I guess if Michael Myers comes.
Really quick, by the way.
Oh, no.
Yes,
Alexis,
yes.
why would you say that? They're turning
So-
Dear David into a movie, apparently.
I'm looking this up immediately after this podcast is
oh my
done.
gosh, I can't.
Nothing scares me more like in the random middle of the night. Like if I have to get up and pee, like I'm sitting on the toilet, it's pitch black. Cause like you ever feel like you're like, I don't even need to open my eyes. I can just navigate to the bathroom. And you don't even, maybe you don't even open your eyes. You're like, you know exactly how many steps it takes. You know exactly like in my bathroom, dangerously, there's like a little step up to the toilet part. I got it. I navigate the whole thing, get the toilet paper, walk back, don't even open my eyes. In that pitch blackness, as I'm peeing, I'll be like, remember Dear David? And then I'll think, I can't walk back by myself. Like I get like this fear like will build. And so I'll get off the toilet and then I'll almost sprint into the bed and like pull the sheet up. And apparently once the sheet is up,
it's fine.
I'm safe.
It's fine. I feel like the covers protect you from everything.
They do.
Always. I remember when I was younger, and I don't even know if I've even talked about this before. When I used to be like, my imagination was like way too overactive. And I had lots of posters of like the Power Rangers and different movies. And I would go and touch every Power Ranger and be like, please protect me throughout the night and make sure that no monsters get me. And like I would sleep in a little ball so like the monsters wouldn't come up underneath the sheets. And I was like, well, if I sleep in a ball, then they won't get me because they won't know
That
anyone's
doesn't even
there.
make any damn sense.
I was 7. I didn't know. I touched Power Rangers to protect me.
Well, that does make sense.
That's cute. That's adorable, actually. I
Yes.
would put a pillow behind my back before going to sleep. So in case there was a robber or a killer and they wanted to stab me, the pillow would stop the.
Oh,
I still do it till this day.
Do you
but
really?
Not for the same reasoning.
Oh.
It's just comfortable.
Oh, okay.
Wait, you said on your back?
On my back. So like I sleep on my side. So I have one hugging between my legs and on my back.
And so
You're
if they come
surrounded by
in,
pillows.
Yes.
boop, boop, boop. I mean, they can still get through that.
Bitch. Whatever. I was like 10.
Yeah.
They can still get to that pillow, girl. If they got a long enough knife, honey. All right. So I wanted to bring this up, and I haven't read through this. So I don't know all the details.
And this is the thing that's super kid inappropriate.
Yes. So like I want to give the warning. Actually, I'm gonna do this on the video just so in case someone like comes in. Adult convo. All right.
In case you pop into the video, don't be in here if you're a kid.
Don't be a hit. Remember that one time there was a kid like watching,
Yes.
and I was
Yes.
like, I feel awkward. They were like, I
Somebody-
love from school.
Somebody in the Platypus Posse like months and months ago was like, ever since that one kid came into the podcast, Miguel and Holly have been censoring themselves, and it's just really I don't like it that much anymore. And I was like, but we're not. I was
No.
like, I actually had forgot about that kid. Like sometimes you're just in a swearing mood and sometimes you're not. I don't know.
Sometimes I want to talk about sex. Sometimes I don't. Hold on. Oh, here we go. All right. I'm going to just share this screen with you here.
Is this an XXX video?
No,
What
it's
is
not
this?
a.
Is this NC-17? What is
I mean, I don't even want to say the name, or I don't
Okay.
want to say. So this is from Vice. They are
Ooh, I love that.
sort of like how would you describe Vice? Like a Gen Z millennial news agency, maybe?
I think so. Yeah, a little more edgy. Kind of like a complex almost too.
Yes.
Mm.
All right.
Oh.
I'm sorry. What?
Yes.
What?
It says,
What?
come tributes. Women are getting harassed online in a gross new way. I was like, wait, what? So I saw this on Twitter and I was like, all right, this is a news source posting this. All right. So I'm going to read this for you listening.
News? I don't know. This is so inappropriate.
Hold on. Okay. So it says Ava started being cyberbullied when she was only 17, from unsolicited D pics to outright sexual threats. Hundreds of men hounded her on Instagram and Twitter, but things took a turn for the worse 2 years later in 2021 when she got into streaming on Twitch. Her harassers began paying her what's known as I'm only going to say the word one more time. I'm not going to repeat it again. A cum tribute. This basically means covering a photo or video of someone's face with male ejaculation, then posting the result online. Some guys had posted photos and videos of themselves masturbating on Reddit and tribute. I felt really dirty. Today, she's very cautious online. She agreed to share her experience in hopes of helping other victims, but didn't want her full name to be public out of fear of retaliation. Hold on. I'm going to keep going because it says Leo, whose name was changed for privacy reasons, is one of these tributers. He likes to post videos on Reddit showing only his hand, his junk, and a photo of a woman. For a few seconds, you see him do the deed, then he climaxes. It feels good and everything, but the best part is getting to show off how great my stuff looks. Leo says when contacted on Reddit. Other Redditors send him photos of girls of their choice, and he gets paid to make more of those tributes to these women. I get compliments and money, he adds.
So not even people that he cares about, just like
no.
Oh, okay.
So I was gonna say, like, what we got like several motives going, because in the headline of the thing, it was like, I hate this woman and I want to see her violated.
Right.
And then this person's like, I'm just doing it because I like my own D. And then there's other
Making
people
money.
that are like, making money just to do it. And then, well, are some of them apparently, I like this girl so much, this is hot, or like, I don't.
Well, hold on, let's keep going.
Yep.
Reddit aside,
Okay.
there are tens of well, the reason why I wanted to bring this up
No, keep going.
is especially like if you are a parent with a teen, like this is the type of stuff that I feel like for us that are from the AOL generation. Remember when our parents would be like, be careful online, and there was like, girl, ain't
And
nobody coming to your house from AOL.
No.
But
and then they weren't
now
careful online.
people like they don't even have to come to your house. Like this is insane. So Reddit aside, there are tens of websites, forums, and private online spaces entirely dedicated to these tributes. Even Twitter has its share of tribute accounts. You mostly see everyday women on these sites and accounts, but celebrities also are featured. All right.
I read that.
Yeah. So there we go.
Yeah.
I just like why? Like why?
Want to tribute my girlfriend? Why would you want someone to do that to your girlfriend?
Even though it's based in the US and primarily used there, many international users are active on the site too. Any French guy wants to tribute my girlfriend, reads one comment in a French section of the website. Another reads, French dudes, send me your sluts. All are accompanied by photos of women, including teens and children, most of whom are likely unaware of the site. Vice has chosen not to publish the name of the site for this reason.
This made my stomach hurt.
So
Weird.
can we just why? Why is that a thing? Like why?
I almost feel like this is actually interestingly linked to our previous conversation about the gore movies. So people that come up with this stuff, like, am I being too sensitive / naive / like shielded to be like, this is depraved. Is it? Am I speaking out of turn by saying
No,
that? And
I
maybe
don't
I'm
think
just not
so.
hip enough. Because like these segments of society, I feel like we're going into depravity a little bit. So like these content creators are like the people that did the Terrifier 2 movie, like that man or woman, whoever, had to sit and think of like the most horrific, torturous thing to do to human beings, then enact it, and people pay money to go see it in a theater. And then you have like these everyday people that are like, for whatever reason, are like, I'm going to use this, my body's function for like something that's a little bit like twisted.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's also all for clout. I think that
But who's giving the clout? Other people who are twisted.
people that are living in that world. Because
Right.
I mean, what I've learned from being on alt Twitter, where I get most of my adult material now from, I have come across so many people that I know from the radio, not like who are on the radio, but from being on the radio, and I've met them, like listeners from the past,
Oh, right.
people that I know from high school I've seen on Twitter that have alt accounts. And what I've gathered is that these are things that some of these people have been thinking about and wanting to do. They just never had the outlet to do it, because where would you have done this stuff? You maybe have gone to we can't see. Maybe this is Jason in the comments here, that what we can see, it just says Facebook user, but it said, you'd be very surprised. I used to work at an adult store in Tampa, and the stories you hear. And I dated someone who had a oversized sexual appetite that led them to do some very provocative, dangerous things that I would never do.
Right.
But now you can post all of it online and become famous in that world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think something popped up on my Facebook that I had shared like maybe 8 years ago. And it was like a Jake Paul video. Like, this is when they were still just on YouTube. And it was him like twerking in the street, twerking in the grocery store. And like that had like 12 million views. Okay. That was 7 or 8 years ago. That was our like baseline for fame online. Now this is where we are. It's like, what else can I do? And unfortunately, I mean, we see it in our industry, in radio, in media. We all say, oh my God, I don't want to talk about celebrities anymore. I don't want to talk about XYZ. But when we started in Charlotte, we tried to do all the feels to talk about positive stuff. 0 phone calls. When we do, am I the a-hole? That's a little more negative. That's a little more, people call in about things where they're trying to consider. Phone lines light up.
Yeah.
So it's like we are, in most companies, they're out to make money, So what do you go with? But it all, like, where is it leading to?
This is the scary part, because like that's just not where it ends. People are just like, oh, well, that's good. I'm good now. So like, if you have, I don't know, I feel like I'm treading on thin ice, because I don't want to offend, which is also where we are. Like,
Right.
Like, I don't want to offend you if you like to like do all that. I'm like, sorry.
Well, speak your piece.
It's weird.
Provide
But
context.
I think we would all just feel uncomfortable if somebody did that to our photo. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And like,
Absolutely.
Yes, I would hate
that's
it.
like the perspective that we're coming from. We don't necessarily understand it.
Right.
But I think
feel
we
like
would all feel the same way.
Agreed. And I also feel like, so what is the end game, to Miguel's point? So like, unless there is some sort of like negative consequence or, drawback for doing that, it's just going to escalate. Like
Right.
which is what you just said you saw. So like in 2008, we're like, oh, twerking's crazy. That's so titillating. Now here we are. So like 10 years from now, like going back to like, okay, we're headed for Hunger Games. Where does it stop?
This might be a reach. But I mean, forms of entertainment, like, they've evolved, and do we think that it's because we've become more progressive and more open-minded about things? Because back in the day, I mean, we would love to watch, not we, but you know what I mean, people of the past would love to watch people kill each other. And like that was a form of entertainment. And like
Oh, like
now,
gladiator times, you mean?
yeah, and now we
Yeah.
watch football. People
Right.
tackle each other and
It's still like
the
there, but like
CTE scans.
we became a little more like, highbrow about it. Like no one's death is involved,
Right.
but we're still dealing with like grown
Head
ass
trauma.
giant men taking each other down. And what
Right.
always shocks me as a quick little football tidbit side note is like there's been a lot of roughing the passer calls lately where it's like you have like a 300-pound man going full tilt at whoever it is that has the ball, and then like if whatever happens, like the play is done but the guy still hits him, he gets a penalty. And I'm like, you have built the game for this. Like,
Right.
how is that man supposed to just stop himself?
Right.
And it's like we're trying to like be like, oh, but football, like we gotta be all upholding the rules. You're throwing like supercharged testosterone into one like arena together, and then you're expecting like violence not to happen. Like when I don't remember the player, but he shoved a camera guy like last week or a couple weeks
Mhm.
ago, coming off the field after like a bad game or whatever. And I don't remember who it was, but like he is being censured for that. He's being, stricken with a penalty or a fine or like suspension or whatever,
Right.
because he was coming off the field and he's pissed, and the photographer was in a bad place at the bad time and he just shoved him, and it was bad. And so I'm like, but again, like you're asking these people to do like hellish, brutish things to each other and then turn it off. And I'm not saying they should, don't get me wrong, but like that's where it is. Okay, that was my football tidbit. But like you're right. So we used to do the gladiator thing. Oh, people's lives are expendable for our entertainment.
Right.
And it is sort of that way too, because like people get injured seriously playing football for our entertainment.
Well, and even then, I mean, a big epiphany hit me. I mean, and even, okay, so gladiator times, long time ago, 100 years ago in the South, white people would go and watch black people be hung. Like
Yeah.
it would be a picnic. Like it would be a Sunday. Let's take the family, let's take the kids, and let's go see what N-word is hanging from a tree.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And
that
everybody was like
a family
just in it.
gathering.
Right.
That was a
Right.
thing. So then we decided as a society that we're a little bit more civilized, but we're going to find a way to clean it up and to make it sound okay.
Mm-hmm.
But mark my words, 10
that's
years
it.
from now, we will be watching someone on TV dying. Not by accident, but it will be a part of some sort of planned production of some sorts, because that's going to be the litmus test. That's what we're going to get to.
Yeah. And you know what? I just realized that it made me sick a little bit. We're going to go back to like justifying why it's okay.
Yep.
Because what did it, maybe
Mhm.
whatever it is in human nature. Like, I guess we have this thirst for blood.
Right.
I wouldn't say me, but I know that in the general, because I don't know that like one person, if only one person was going up to turn out to like see someone lynched, that's weird.
Mhm.
But like when you get together with 100 other people, you're like, well, we're all on the same page.
Right.
So, and you're going to, and this is why it's so important that everyone has rights and dignity, because you can take any group of people, marginalized, hated, prisoners, criminals, whatever, and be like, well, it's okay to do it to them. Well,
Mhm.
you've decided you've passed moral judgment on a group of humans.
Right.
So
Right.
where does that stop? And that's what's going to happen, is it's going to be these lesser people, quote unquote, those who have like a lower status in
That we
society,
don't value in our society.
Mhm.
that we've decided they're not people anymore as a
Mhm.
group.
Right.
And then we'll be like, well, it's not hurting anything. Oh, and you're right. Like it's really sick. And I'm afraid. I'm afraid for that. That scares me.
Doai said 100 plus years ago, people in France would go to a morgue and look at dead people as a pastime.
Oh, good.
So
Okay.
there's your uplifting conversation for the day. Before we head out today,
well, enjoy the rest of your day.
Pretty
don't
dark
forget.
podcast.
Hold on. I wanted to get one of these in every day before Halloween.
Okay.
All right. Remember I told you yesterday. Hold on. scary movie situations. Okay. Ooh.
Hmm.
You set up a situation from a Halloween movie, and then you tell me what you've learned from the things that went wrong in the movie. Okay. Or like what you would do in this situation because of this type of scenario that you've seen in a scary movie.
Okay.
All right. You hear a noise in the house. You decide to investigate what caused it and discover it was only the cat. What should you do?
Stop, because that happened to me yesterday. I'm not trying to take away the shine from your topic. But
No.
that happened to me literally yesterday.
I need to hear it.
On the toilet, I heard the noise. I see a shadow under the door, and you know that mine is a sliding door. So I was like, what is happening right now? Stupid cat. But anyways.
Are you sure?
Well, what did you do? You just were like, okay, cool.
I went outside because I saw the shadow move.
Mhm.
And I was like, what the and I literally looked around and I was like, what can I grab? And I was like, I have hairspray. Like, I don't know what the fuck else to do.
This started playing when Kelbin was on the toilet.
Stop. It was really scary. I was scared. It was yesterday.
He was like, what do I grab?
And I just stared at my phone because maybe they heard the noise on my phone. And I was like, what the fuck do I do? It was so scary.
So that's when, if you're in the bathroom and you're in a situation, that's when you grab, if they have one, the top of the toilet, the toilet top, and you grab
The
that
tank.
to the tank and you
Oh,
hit them over the head.
okay.
That's good.
So you hear a noise in the house. You decide to investigate what caused it and discover it was only the cat. What should you do? Do you just relax from there, or what do? Do you keep investigating?
Well, are you sure? If you're sure it was the cat, you stop investigating.
Are
If
you
you're
sure?
if you're sure it was the cat. If you're not sure it was the cat, you keep going. Like,
You would keep looking?
yeah. Well, I do like a good old little check just in case.
Girl, bye. I would get out of the house. I'd call Abe and be like, when you coming home?
What if it's like 9 p.m.? What are you going to do? You're just going to go stand outside the house? Like, you got to go to sleep at some point?
Stand in my hallway and wait till he gets home. Be like,
Oh,
nope.
no.
Stand in the hallway?
Yep.
Hell no.
We had a really horrifying sound happen when we were in bed. Like, this was a while back, months ago. And it was like we had just got in bed, and from like outside the bedroom was this crash. And I was like, and like we froze. And so I like hit I'm like, go see what it is. And he's like, I don't want to say what it is. Like, go see what it is.
Yes.
So I don't even tell you because I don't want anybody to break in my house. What we have is protection. But he quietly goes and looks and discovered that in the main bathroom in our hallway, the one that my daughter usually uses, her dang basket full of toys in the tub had fallen off and hit the bottom of the tub, and it was like so loud because the tub, was ceramic, and it was like and I'm like, we're getting rid of the toys. I'm not keeping that anymore. Does she even use them? Does she play with toys? You play with toys? Nope. Get that red back. Get rid of
I was
that.
like,
Nope.
what happened?
It was the
Nope.
toys. The tub toys. Great. Good.
Here's another situation. You are with a group of people going on vacation. Your car runs out of gas in the middle of nowhere.
Oh,
It's
God.
getting dark. You can't get a signal on your cell phone.
Oh, my God.
There was little to be seen on this deserted road as you traveled, except an old house that looked abandoned, a gas station, a little girl running a lemonade stand,
Oh,
and an amusement park.
wait, what?
What
I thought you said it was a...
do you do? I don't know, girl. This is just the thing that I found. Just go with it. Just go with it.
Okay.
Just go with it.
Okay.
I think you could die in all of those places, to be honest. But I would. I would probably do the gas station. Anything that, if it's working and it's fine, I would probably do that so I can get away as fast as I can.
Mhm.
Gas station, Holly.
I was leaning toward gas station too, although I think I would do it. Like, I feel like someone would be like, oh, go find out about this little girl in the lemonade stand. Could be a trap.
Yeah, nope.
100%.
Nope. They use kids as traps. Nope.
Yeah.
I know. That's why I was like, I don't like that. And I'm like, amusement park. What is this, Zombieland? No, I'm not doing that. And like house, old and abandoned. Okay, set me up for like, poltergeist. No. So I go to the gas station. But since you're with a group of friends, you have to have people posted as lookouts with like car weapons. Like if you have like one of those like jacks in the back of the trunk to like, fix your own flat tire, you get that, you're ready. Because I've seen far too many movies where they have to go to the ye old gas station with like one pump, and then whoever's working the gas station is like it. Not it, the clown, but like the person, the killer or whatever.
Right.
So like you better go to the gas station, but you are prepared on all sides.
Mm-hmm.
Here's another situation. While exploring an abandoned building, your companion finds a dusty old book with leather binding and what might be Latin writing carved into the spine. After he comments on the pretty introverted star with an image of a goat's head in the center of the cover, what should you do?
Kelbin?
Return it, bitch. Like, I don't know what the fuck. I can't read it. Here you go.
You put that shit back exactly where you found it and you
Literally.
leave. Like, what are you doing? Put it down.
Hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
Hand sanitizer?
Yeah.
What?
Like 70% alcohol by
Yeah.
volume. Like,
Kills
yes.
demons, coronavirus.
For demons. And yeah.
All that.
Someone said burn it. I wouldn't even burn it. I would just put it
No.
back.
Burn it and let the demons fly out of it? Hello? No, absolutely not.
They're like, woo!
And then when you get home, you sage yourself.
I think that's the best thing, is to make sure that as soon as that's done, so you don't have any demons attached to you from just opening up the book.
You sounded like
Did they
Casper the
open it?
Ghost.
Woo!
That's not what a demon sounds like.
It
Yeah,
is.
That's not a demon.
What does it sound like?
Demons are like, or something. Did you not see The Exorcist? Like, that demon was really throaty. I don't know.
Listen, there are several demons in my world, so some of them are very polite, and they're like, woo!
Polite demons?
Polite demon.
Where they're like, oh, excuse me, want you? No, okay, I'll come back another time. No.
They're like, boo.
Yeah.
All right, here's the last one.
Right.
To escape a crazy man in a nondescript pale mask, you enter an old farmhouse through the storm doors of the cellar. You manage to lock the storm doors from the inside, but when you look up the stair to the doorway leading to the main level, you realize it has no door to bar. What do you do?
Oh my God, I'm so stressed out right now by this scenario. Like, all the other ones are like, whatever. Obviously, you do this. I don't
What do you do?
What?
know. This is very specific.
Boom, you did.
I'm getting that same headache that I got yesterday from Terrifier 2.
You did.
Wait, so he was outside the house and you just like managed to get in the cellar doors and lock them?
Yeah, you managed to lock the storm doors from the inside, but when you look up the stairs to the doorway leading to the main level, you realize it has no door to bar. What do you do?
Oh, man. Well, I mean, if that's the only opening, right?
Mhm.
Then
Yeah.
stay until somebody tries to go in through the first floor and then try getting out.
The other way?
Yeah.
So if they're coming, so all of a sudden they stop banging on the cellar doors,
Yeah.
and then they go around to the main house inside and try to get
Mhm.
inside, then that's when you are like, oop, let's go out through the barn doors.
Yes. Because
The
at that
cellar
point-
doors?
The cellar doors.
Mhm.
Or if
What
there's,
if they just got quiet and they're waiting for you to come out?
I think that's when you sort of wait them out to see
Yeah,
which
girl.
side they're coming in.
Yeah, 100%.
Or if there's
I'm gonna look
two.
up. By the way, I'm also looking around for like a blunt, heavy object.
Yeah.
in the
Oh,
cellar.
absolutely. Absolutely.
But they were just going to end it after blunt.
Because
Well-
I was looking for a blunt.
I was actually gonna look for a blunt and just be like, "Well, this is it. Might as well go outside."
Or they had a second person with them waiting for you outside the cellar. We can't see who that
Then
is. But
At that point,
Jason probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like you would. Like you got to at least attempt to like go up to the first floor, but now you're in one of those horror movies where you don't know where the killer's at, and you could be going right into them.
100%. And that's how everybody always dies. They want to explore and try to get out as fast as they. Nope. Planting my ass.
you're planting, so you're staying there
Yep.
hiding.
Yep.
At least you have the home field advantage almost, because like maybe the cellar's dark and you can hide in a corner, and then they have to come to you,
Yeah.
and so because there's going to be a showdown. You're right. There's going to be a showdown. So you find some shit to attack with, and then you hide in a dark corner and just wait.
And then try to, like, if possible, sort of like stab him in the legs as you see him walking by. If you can like hide underneath something or like a table or whatever, where you can like get him in the legs or in the
get like like this part of your ankle right
yes,
here.
the back
Achilles
of it.
Heel.
Yes.
You slash that, and then they can't walk, and then you pop them in the eyeballs and pull their eyeballs out. What you gotta do? What you gotta do? I don't know.
God, that hurts my ears.
I know it's very loud.
Listen, I only have another week to play these sound effects, so I'm like, we're gonna play the hell out of them. All right, well, there you go. There's your scary movie game situation there. So there you go. Holly, what's all of your social media?
Radio Holly on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Now I'm gonna be just thinking about all these things. That's just great.
I got some more.
No, well, save it for Friday.
Mm-hmm. Producer Kelbin.
At Kelbin Live, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and OnlyFans, baby.
Oh, you ain't got no OnlyFans. Ain't no OnlyFans
It's
happening
coming
here.
soon. It's coming
Yeah,
soon.
ain't nothing happening.
I'm not even excited for it anymore.
All right. Mine is at Miguel Fuller. You can find me on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. Make sure to follow Miguel and Holly everywhere on social media and listen to the podcast. And Amy said, way late, you guys are done. Sorry, Amy.
Where you been, Amy?
We'll see you Friday.
What the hell is that?
I never
Why is it
heard this.
whispering?
Whispers?
I don't like that at all.
Wait.
Oh, it's this one. Hey,
this one.
Hey. Wait for the beat drop.
Miguel and Holly Uncensored.
Catch it on the iHeartRadio app or anywhere you listen to podcasts.